All right, let's jump right into this explainer and unpack a tech niche that's quietly driving absolutely massive demand: the Guidewire ecosystem. If you've been searching for a career path that perfectly blends incredibly stable demand with some serious earning potential, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're breaking down the specific roles, the daily responsibilities, and the exact roadmaps that are defining this space for 2026 and beyond. Now, to really wrap your head around why this matters, just think about the number 570. Guidewire Insurance Suite isn't just another standard piece of software. It's literally the core engine powering over 570 property and casualty insurers spread across 43 different countries. We're essentially talking about the central nervous system of the global insurance industry, and it's undergoing a massive, ongoing digital transformation. So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the Guidewire ecosystem, then dive into the core roles and responsibilities, map out the Indian job market and salaries, and wrap up with your step-by-step roadmap. Okay, Section 1, the Guidewire ecosystem. At the very heart of this platform is what we call the vital triad. You've got Policy Center, which handles quoting and renewals. Then there's Claim Center, managing the first notice of loss and the payouts. And of course, Billing Center, taking care of premiums and disbursements. Tying all of this together is the Contact Manager. As a developer or an analyst, you're going to spend the vast majority of your career really mastering and configuring these exact insurance modules. But here's what's actually driving the current hiring frenzy. The whole ecosystem is aggressively pivoting to a SaaS cloud model, with the Guidewire Cloud Platform, or GWCP, running on AWS. You throw in a massive marketplace of over 290 ready-to-use integrations, and you can quickly see how this shift is creating entirely new, highly specialized career opportunities that are just in desperate need of fresh talent. Moving right along to Section 2, core roles and responsibilities. Let's kick things off with the configuration developer. This is kind of the primary entry point for most tech pros getting into the space. You'll basically spend your days translating business rules into the system using Guidewire Studio and Gosu. Now, Gosu is Guidewire's purpose-built, Java-based scripting language. You'll also be configuring user interface screens and XML data models. And the best part, you do all of this without ever having to modify the core platform code. Now, how does that actually stack up against an integration developer? Well, where configuration developers focus inward on business logic, integration developers focus outward. They're the ones getting their hands dirty with REST APIs, Kafka event streaming, and middleware to connect Guidewire to external third-party systems, think payment processors or fraud detection engines. Knowing this difference is a real game changer, because integration work is generally more technically demanding, and honestly, because of that, it commands a notable salary premium. But hey, it's definitely not all just about writing code. Enter the business analyst. The BA plays an absolutely vital role in bridging the gap between the insurer's business teams and the technical delivery squad. They rely on some incredibly deep property and casualty insurance domain knowledge to map out current processes and write up user stories. Without a skilled business analyst to translate those complex insurance rules, honestly, even the best developers will inevitably end up building the wrong thing. To really round out the delivery squad, we've got a few other critical players. That massive shift to the cloud we talked about, it's made cloud engineers, the folks managing AWS, Docker, and Kubernetes, highly sought after. Meanwhile, QA test engineers, project managers, and domain consultants are all working together to ensure that the entire multi-year delivery pipeline stays secure, completely compliant with regulations, and strictly on track. As you level up in your career, say around that 5 to 8 year mark, the scope of your work changes entirely. Technical leads focus heavily on guiding development teams and enforcing code quality. Architects, on the other hand, they're looking at the big picture. With 10+ years of experience, you transition from leading developer squads to owning the entire architectural vision, the cloud strategy, and the security of these massive, multi-million-dollar enterprise solutions. In real-world agile squads, all these roles operate in perfectly synced layers, all the way from leadership down to infrastructure. What's really vital to understand here is that these global projects typically operate in a highly effective on-site offshore model, which naturally bridges us right to our next critical topic. All right, Section 3, the Indian job market and salaries. The demand in this specific market is honestly unprecedented. We're talking global systems integrators, heavyweights like Accenture, Cognizant, Capgemini, Infosys, and TCS. They are constantly winning massive insurance transformation contracts in the US and Europe. And to actually execute these projects, they staff their operations primarily from huge delivery centers located in tech hubs like Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Pune, and Chennai. Let's talk numbers, because the sheer scale of the compensation here is kind of wild. Even mid-level integration developers and cloud engineers can comfortably pull in 10 to 20 lakhs per annum. But because there is such a severe global talent shortage, architects are out there commanding anywhere from 35 to over 60 lakhs per annum. That is top-tier compensation for some very specialized IT expertise. And listen, this isn't some flash-in-the-pan trend. Guidewire careers offer a massive, sustained premium over your standard Java or .NET roles. The industry's rapid shift toward the cloud, API-first architecture, event-driven streaming with Kafka, and AI integration absolutely ensures that choosing this path gives you a highly defensible 10 to 15-year career moat. Finally, Section 4, your step-by-step roadmap. So how does this actually play out over time? In your first 2 years, you're going to focus hard on the basics, mastering GoSu and usually Policy Center. Then, from years 2 to 5, you advance into integration APIs and complex workflows. By years 5 to 8, you're stepping up to lead teams. And eventually, once you cross that 8-year mark, you're the one driving that entire enterprise architecture. It's an incredibly structured, exceptionally stable path from junior developer all the way up to principal architect. So here is your exact playbook for getting started today. Do not, under any circumstances, skip step 1. Learning the fundamentals of property and casualty insurance is absolutely the secret sauce here. Understanding the actual business of insurance is what makes your technical skills in GoSu and APIs so incredibly valuable to employers. From there, master Policy Center, explore integrations, build out some realistic hands-on project experience, and finally, validate all that hard work with official certifications. Well, we've mapped out the ecosystem, we've looked at the specialized guilds, and we've broken down the massive market demand.